Hey W's, it's Dave this side. Welcome back to my channel. Today I want to get into a specific idol and maybe threaten Jungkook to expose a relationship with Chaeyoung from Twice. But I have some thoughts on this and definitely want to get into it. I also want to get into the recent conversation of RM and Billboard and him kind of addressing the racism going on. I do have a lot of thoughts on this and definitely wanted to talk about it. Our boys are getting bolder day by day. So grab your dumpling, a tea spilling mug merch, and let's jump into the tea. If you're new here and you're interested in this type of stuff, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and the notification bell to be notified and some new video drops. And if you're a hater, I'd like to be first leave your hate comment. Please make sure you hit the subscribe button and the notification bell also so you can first do so. Now let's jump into it. The first thing I want to talk about is Bang Twice, which is the ship that is of BTS and Twice. If you're new to BTS, BTS stands for bangtan sonyeondan in Korean, so Bang Twice would be their collab or mashup name. Very cute. Now before we begin on the theories, one of the quickest thoughts I had was just how many Chaeyoungs there are in K-pop. We have one from IZ*ONE, Rose from Blackpink's real name is Chaeyoung. There's even one in ITZY, and of course there's one in Twice. People think the person we are discussing today is from Twice. Now there is no surprise that BTS gets shipped with any of these girls and girl groups. They're all extremely gorgeous and they're at the top of their game right now. And when we envision fame and success, we think the boys in their off time are just on a yacht somewhere with supermodels and all these beautiful K-pop girls. But while they probably do have a yacht, I don't think there's millions of girls on there. I don't think there's any girls on there. I'm married to each of them and they're loyal boys. Joking aside, it's not the reality of fame to have a life of leisure and party and date and sleep around all the time. If you're at the level of fame where you can literally blink and people will talk about it or whatever, you're in demand. You best take advantage of that time and do something amazing. And our boys are not known to waste time. There's very few celebrities or any public figure that can just sit there and enjoy their life every day. And if you are seeing them actually not doing anything for like a long time and not posting or making stuff, chances are they're not making much money and are faking their lifestyle for social media and are probably not making enough to live off of. Just keep that in mind. In recent Run BTS episode, this episode was hilarious and it was of the boys all getting soaked. They had water dumped on them when they said a specific word, and there was even a part where they had to push each other off a board and into the water. It was a very fun episode. I think this was episode 131 or 132, so you can definitely check it out. But in this episode, our male idol Mr. Chaeyoung and Jungkook were having an intense debate on how they prefer their cereal. So questions like if they prefer their cereal soggy or crunchy, which what even debate is that? Do people like soggy cereal? If you do, I'm sorry, but you're wrong. You just eat cereal paste? I'm totally kidding. You can do whatever you want. I don't judge. Obviously, I'm weird myself. Who am I to judge? But Jungkook gave his answer and Chaeyoung responded, I know the reason why. And he said he knows the reason very well and then says, see why. Jungkook then responds that he knows the reason very well, and all of the boys start laughing when hearing this. Of course, this makes no sense to us watching. What is CY? And it is very weird because sometimes in some of these shows, which I'm going to try to react to more of on my Patreon. I have a few Run BTS episodes up there right now though, but it's weird because sometimes they say things that are likely an inside joke between the boys and the editors keep that part in, and in certain parts it's hard to understand the specific reference. Or I'm stupid. It's probably me being stupid. But they do it often enough where I'm like, wait, what happened? But of course, these are the moments that make people theorize what it could be and why this was even brought up. It seems like Chaeyoung likes to leak information. We can gather that from when he said that Jimin likes men. So Chaeyoung definitely likes to expose the group boys. I'm kidding. But people believe CY is Chaeyoung and people think it's Twice. Or maybe hoping it's Twice. Of course, the theory isn't too off, but I don't think this could be true. CY could be a reference to an older episode or simply a reference the editors didn't pick up, didn't understand, but maybe some specific people in the fandom do. I just don't believe they would take that opportunity to expose their dating. Like, why do it then? But also, I do believe they have a look at the episode before it airs, and Big Hit does at the very least. And if it was anything insinuating dating, it would be cut out before they published it. Just my theory. Other theories include them dyeing their hair blonde at the same time, and even Jungkook adding brown just because Chaeyoung had brown for a bit. And bleaching hair is just what people do in K-pop. These are very common colors. I wouldn't even say anything about that. The hair colors that idols choose are not random and just whatever they want. It's usually done by the stylist, and stylists have to do research on one, the concept of the next album or comeback, but also more importantly, what are the trendy colors as of right now? For example, if they feel a specific green is going to be very in, people will bleach their hair green for their comeback to stay relevant and stay trendy. It's definitely not random, and if you see people talk about and think it looks good then, you know they did their job correctly. And to prove it's just a trend, look back at old photos of idols and their fashion choices, you're often like, what were they thinking? But at that time, it was probably, wow, they look good, because it was trendy to look like that at the time and everyone was doing it. So if you think they look good, then it's because everything they're wearing is trendy right now. Y'all with these theories, I love them though. They give me something to talk about. But I did find this one interesting. While I don't believe Chaeyoung and Jungkook are dating, I could not find an answer as to what CY is. But I just don't think it's a name. Perhaps it's a brand of cereal that Cookie is obsessed with, who knows? As BTS is preparing for a possible new comeback, we are excited to see them do press and people talk about them. When you notice a celebrity that has been gone for, let's say, a few years, and then suddenly out of nowhere, you keep reading news articles about them, random interviews, and just people talking about them again, you know something is about to drop. This is the job of a publicist, to get people and media talking about you before anything drops, so there's hype for the drop. So they're getting a lot of coverage even though they haven't put anything out, which makes me believe something is coming up soon. But BTS recently did an interview with Billboard, which obviously is not a shock. They have had 3 #1s on there, Permission to Dance, Butter, and Dynamite, which it was about time Billboard personally acknowledged them. One of the biggest issues with BTS, and the only thing I can think of is a reason why they're still not taken seriously, is that people really believe BTS has something to do with chart manipulation. And they believe that because never in the history of ever have they ever seen a fan base this strong. And a lot of people believe the numbers are artificially inflated by those strong fans, and that the boys don't have a far reach. It's like 20 people downloading or buying songs, which is false, 100% false. You can go on the street and talk to people and they'd be able to tell you who BTS is, or at least they've seen BTS's faces. But BTS gets a lot of these claims, and specifically how powerful or quote unquote annoying they think the fandom is. But like, isn't that what every artist aspires to have? A strong, loyal fan base that loves their work? Isn't that the goal? So BTS has it, but no one respects them for it. So one of the things you're taught in journalism is to avoid really scandalous questions. So K-pop idols are not asked about dating or those things as much in Korea because it's scandalous, so they avoid it. But one of the interesting things about American interviewers is that they don't shy away from really interesting questions, which I don't know how I feel. Like, on one hand, I don't like BTS being put on the spot like that, but on the other hand, having an opportunity to shut down those rumors is great. Billboard asked RM about chart manipulation and just how he feels about what everyone is saying. And RM addressed this literally better than I could even imagine. He said, it's a fair question, but if there's a conversation inside Billboard about what being #1 should represent, then it's up to them to change the rules and make streaming weigh more on the ranking. Slamming us or our fans for getting to #1 with physical sales and downloading, I don't know if that's right. It just feels like we're an easy target because we're a boy band, a K-pop act, and we have this high fan loyalty. I totally agree. First off, if being #1 isn't about people streaming over and over again, then make that the standard. Only 1 stream per person is allowed, and only 1 will count to the chart. But that isn't the rule. The rule has always been to allow people to stream, and then BTS ARMY knows that and did it. This wasn't BTS telling them to do that. However, there are literally American artists who have posted how to stream properly and asked their fans to use a VPN. BTS has never promoted this type of action, and they shouldn't be responsible for chart manipulation if they're not the ones encouraging the fans to do this. It's not a fair question because other artists are not asked this or accused of this. The words chart manipulation, BTS, and ARMY, they've all been mashed together. This was done because people didn't believe that a Korean boy group deserved to be on top. And ARMY is right. It does feel like BTS is an easy target because they have this fan loyalty no one has ever seen before. And people think BTS fans are annoying. It's also RM saying he is only being asked this question because the boys are Korean and a K-pop group. I do think this is true. No other artist has ever been asked this. And here's the thing. If these companies treated BTS well, i.e. give them the awards they deserve and put them on TV when they promised to be on TV, the ARMYs wouldn't be this angry and stream even harder. It's this idea that ARMYs feel personally victimized by the industry and how they treat Asians. So the only way they see this racism and xenophobia to end is if BTS is on top. It's a personal attack, which is why ARMYs care so much. We look at how the boys are and we're like, they don't deserve this awfulness. Let me know what you think. Let me know what your thoughts are. Leave it down in the comment section down below. Give this video a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'm featuring this comment right here. Thank you so much for leaving comments. And as always, I do have a Patreon if you want to go over there and check that out. I have a lot of videos over there that I can't really post on here. This is due to copyright or getting taken down, so I do keep it over there on my Patreon. You can get videos over there like music video reactions, performance reactions, ship reactions. You can also recommend things you would like to see over there. We have a great time interacting with each other over there and having fun as well. So if you're interested in any of that, link is in the top of the description down below. There's also a video over there that kind of goes over how you can support this channel even more if you would like to do that. That video is on the front page and it's free to watch. With that said, there's 2 videos that will appear up on the screen at the end of this video. So click on one of those and I'll see you over there. Bye.